their youth group at Kautandini Sandiad regarding the clarification and collaborative action during His Excellency the Governor's 60-day Sun Trade Memorandum. The petition goes, with the undersigned, citizens of Kenya representing the youth employed at Kautandini Sandiad, license number 013 in Kilome Sub-County, Makueni County, draw the attention of the Makueni County Assembly to the following. That Kautandini Sandiad is a group based at Malili Sub-Location, Kilome Sub-County, Makueni County, that the yard has been lawfully licensed under license number 13, that the Sandiad idea came about due to the lack of employment for youths, where the idea targeted to resolve the unemployment problem by creating our own source of income using that Sandiad. 4, that the group mainly does the job of loading and offloading sand trucks, stockpiling the sand and performing manual sorting at the Sandiad. 5, that as casual workers, the youths are paid daily or immediately after performing our tasks whereupon them, they are able to provide for their families. And 6, that the sand held at Kautandini Sandiad is sourced from Kajiado County and is transported to the yard with valid permits and documentation issued by competent authorities in Kajiado County and by the transport agencies, paying all necessary levies at all checkpoints in Makueni, particularly one at Kamba area. And 7, that the youths also cooperate with security agencies to curb insecurities such as livestock theft and general theft within our area and Malili sub-location. And 8, that they also work with nearby sand authorities and local community to protect local rivers from illegal sand harvesting through reporting them to the local county government authority when noticed, and that the petitioners do not allow any sand harvested from Makueni County to be stockpiled in their yard. 9, that on 1st of October, His Excellency, the Governor of Makueni, issued an executive order instituting a 60-day moratorium on sand harvesting and utilization activities in Kilome Sub-County. That the petitioners appreciate the public interest motive behind that intervention, protecting natural resources, preventing environmental degradation, and safeguarding communities. 11, that the petitioners share those goals and also want a sustainable future for Makueni County. 12, that however, since the moratorium took effect, enforcement actions and public messaging have effectively stopped all sand trade in Kilome, including lawful licensed yards dealing in sand brought from other counties. 13, that the Kautandini yard has been closed and lorries are turned away due to fear to lose their stockpiled sand. As a result, the petitioners have lost their source of income. 14, that the consequences of implementation of this moratorium are severe, that no food on the table for many families, missed rental and school payments, rising desperation among young men who simply wish to work honestly. 15, that the petitioners respectively, the purpose of the moratorium to control illegal and environmentally damaging sand harvesting inside Kilome Sub-County, not prohibiting lawful trade and stockpiling of sand that was extracted lawfully in other counties, transported with permits, and sold in licensed yards. 16, that a blanket approach that fails to distinguish between illegal harvesting and lawful trade unfairly punishes lawful businesses. That the moratorium is currently enforced against licensed stockyards negligently overlooks the constitutional and legal rights of workers to livelihood and fair administrative action, including the right to be speaker.
When the governor is, the role squarely lies with the department, Honorable Speaker, because they are technical people. They are the people who will advise the governor to stop or to allow. If we do the same, Honorable Speaker, the precedents we're going to set as an assembly going forward, Honorable Speaker, will be very inefficient, Honorable Speaker, for the county government of Makueni. We are not supposed to micromanage the county executive. We are supposed to oversight the county executive. And that is why I'm standing with too many questions, Honorable Speaker. I'm not very structural today. I'm very mechanical, but I want to tell you, Honorable Speaker, this is not the kind of a petition we expect from members of public to go through this assembly. We cannot admit any, we cannot just say we will be admitting any petition, Honorable Speaker. Somebody will come here to petition.
Summarize, please.
Somebody will come here, Honorable Speaker, to petition. Even our dress code here, Honorable Speaker, when it is well guided by the Speaker's rules. Honorable Speaker, we should not allow this. This should not go beyond called the reading today, Honorable Speaker. Until that time, we consult as a leadership of this assembly and as the speakership, Honorable Speaker, and then we help the people of Makueni. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stand to oppose the movement of this petition into the next phase, where the committee is given 60 days to report back to this assembly. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We have other issues. Honorable Speaker, I have my petition here. I have my statement here from the Committee on Water. That airtime should be given to the committee.
We will get into that.
If you don't do the reporting, Honorable Speaker, because I have seen the recommendations are not there. I don't want to be to go against the standing orders. But
the leader of my
this is the airtime we need. This is the airtime we need. We don't need airtime on that petition. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you. Let us proceed, honorable members. I gave directions on the petition, and therefore, if you look at the standing orders clearly, they have a specific time and limitation of the contributions that we can make. And therefore, we may move on. Clerk, next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Chairperson, Committee on Health Services, to lay a paper on the report of Makueni County Universal Healthcare.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly. The report of the Committee on Health Services on the Makueni County Universal Health Care Coverage, UHC, implementation guidelines and public participation. I lay.
Chairperson, Implementation Committee. Chairperson, Implementation Committee. Vice Chairperson, Implementation Committee. Vice Chairperson. Members of the Implementation Committee. Any member of the Implementation Committee? Member for Kimakiwa Lansoni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I request for more time to be able to present the afternoon section.
Today at 2:30.
The notices were issued on 1st of November, Mr. Speaker, and actually the execution was to be done on 14th of August and 15th up to 15th of September, Honorable Speaker. But Honorable Speaker, I took my time and walked around. Mr. Speaker, allow the chair to give you time so that you can listen to this very important.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker, these notices were issued on 1st of November. And Mr. Speaker, the execution was to be done by 15th of September, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I've been moving around these estates, Mr. Speaker, and we don't just ask statements and then we just get paper written response, Mr. Speaker, without no action, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, that cannot be allowed, Mr. Speaker. I don't know what is the problem, Mr. Speaker, because it's conjoined with the chair or with the department that I chair, the chair. And we have a lot of problems, Mr. Speaker. We don't understand. This is an department of land, urban planning, climate change. And I don't need to respond to anyone except the Speaker. Someone is trying to disturb me here. So, Mr. Speaker, there's nothing on the ground, that is a fact. And Mr. Speaker, we need to know why people are actually giving statements in paper and there's no action, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. So for purposes of moving forward, Member for Wote, the notice has been supplied as was requested. So what has remained is the action.
And they are saying, Mr. Speaker, they are saying they will...
Within 14 days.
Yes.
I have.
Actually, I was supposed to see bushes being cleared, things like that. But on the ground, nothing is happening.
Fine. Because the chair took note that the notice has been supplied to the committee, subject to confirmation of action, I will direct the chair and the committee, together with the member for Hortensio, to ensure that they confirm whether it has been done in the next 14 days. That's fine. I am saying within the next 14 days to confirm the committee whether there is any action that has been taken.
Mr. Speaker, I need you to treat this matter very urgent matter. Why do we have to go for 14 days? Even today.
Chair, you know we sit today the whole day. That means then the committee will absent itself from the assembly. It's because it may not be that urgent. Yes, I'll make you one. But I am sure between now and Sunday, the committee will find appropriate time to execute that, instead of excusing them for the afternoon sitting, while you know you are the only person who has made quorum for the assembly.
You see, you happen to be residents of water, and this statement direct affects everyone here in this house, Mr. Speaker, who is a resident of water. So, Mr. Speaker, I was thinking if you can give up to tomorrow to that, so that we can make it very fast, because it's an urgent matter. That's my request, Honorable Speaker.
Chair, reasonably speaking, not unless you say we excuse them in the afternoon session. Reasonably speaking. It will be fair, member for Ote, if we give them overtime after the assembly session. Chair.
Speaker. It is true, I hear what the honorable member for Ote is saying, but it's also good to understand that each and every committee has its own calendar. And if you don't plan it, you'll be planning to fail. Because this is not just something which has come and found us without having something, but I think you and the area loan directives are very okay. We are requesting, we cannot just walk out of here when already we have other businesses. We need to reorganize our calendar. We need to sit and agree as members of a committee so that we can do an effective business. So in this context, let us not suppress members against their planned schedules. We will handle this, and it can be handled.
Fine. Chair, I give you 7 days to confirm that. That's fine. Let's proceed. Chair, Transport Infrastructure, to respond to a statement as requested by member for Nsio Ward.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, that response is not ready. There are some details that we requested the department to provide to the committee, and we did not receive, so we seek extension of time. Give us more 7 days.
Fine, execute that within the next 7 days. Budget and Appropriations Committee, to respond to a statement as requested by the member for Emali Mulala Ward.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The statement is not ready. I've checked on the reporting from the ECM, and I've seen there are some gaps. And also the Budget and Appropriation Committee will sit today at noon also to go through the document and make some recommendation. But I think you can give us like 14 days to come up with a good report.
Member for Emali. Member for Emali.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I don't want to say the Assembly is totally in a job, because this statement has been in this House for quite long. Matters of HQ project are matters just to click a button on a computer and get the response. That is a matter that cannot take an hour if someone is serious. Why is it taking all this long? Is it that there is someone who is not willing to serve? And if that person is not willing to serve, what action is the Assembly taking on behalf of the citizens? Of course, we represent the interests of our people. We don't represent our own interests. We talk on behalf of our people. What is this Assembly doing? Honorable Speaker, the failure of the House is your failure too. Because we cannot be here, people are paid, they are getting allowances, yet they are not serving. They are no result of what we are doing. Honorable Speaker, action has to be taken against that person who is not serious on his or her job. Please, Honorable Speaker, give guidance on how we are going to move out of this quagmire. Thank you.
Chairperson, you said the report is with you. You will interrogate it today. And therefore, I give you 7 days, not 14. Chairperson, Committee on Devolution Public Service, on a statement from member for Tulimani. Chairperson, Devolution and Public Service. Vice Chairperson. Is the statement ready? The member for Tulimani is not in. Therefore, I direct you to table that tomorrow. Tomorrow, is it fine? Tomorrow at 2:30. Tomorrow at 2:30. Chairperson, Devolution and Public Participation, requested by the member for Casca Ward. First one is for Aina, for Leopards now. Is the statement ready? Yeah. Tomorrow at 2:30, the member is not in. You can press your...
We had a meeting with, in our last meeting when we approved this report, we sat with the area member, Okasikeo, and we were in agreement actually. We discussed everything. So this one we can table, or we table tomorrow, both of them tomorrow.
Fine, table both of them tomorrow.
Thank you.
Next order.
Order number 8, motion. The report of the Committee on Water, Irrigation and Sanitation on the site visit to inspect the repairs done on the Mason tank at Kathiaka Market in Kinkumpulu North Ward, conducted on the 10th of November 2025.
Chairperson, Committee of Water and Sanitation.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion that this assembly adopts the report of the Committee on Water, Irrigation and Sanitation on the site visit to inspect the repairs done on the masonry tank at the Kathiak Market in Kikubulu North Ward, conducted on 10th November 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly on 1st December 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, with your allowance, I will directly go to the executive summary of this report. The County Assembly exercises oversight over the County Executive as set out in Article 185 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, as read together with Section 8 of County Governments Act 2012. Further, the County Assembly Committee on Water, Irrigation and Sanitation exercised oversight over the Department of Water, Irrigation and Sanitation on all matters outlined in Part 2 of the 4th Schedule of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, and executes its mandate in accordance with the Makueni County Assembly Standing Order 217, subsection 5. Mr. Speaker, sir, Article 43 of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010 declares that under economic and social rights, every person has the right to clean and safe water in adequate quantities. The right to water is a basic human right that is recognized as such both under international and national laws. The Speaker, sir, on the 10th July 2025, the committee
Chair, you may proceed to findings and
to the findings.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And all that.
So in the view of the above, Mr. Speaker, the committee made the following findings or of observations in relation to the matter in question. One, that the contractor resumed work in mid-July 2025 and began the emptying and thoroughly cleaning the tank. Two, remedial works were subsequently undertaken, including initial plaster on the interior wall was removed and the plastering and dial done. To ensure water tightness, layers of black bituminous paint and cementitious primer were applied on the interior wall, after which it was filled with water and allowed 21-day observation period to monitor for any leakages. The exterior side of the tank was also peeled off to remove the initial paint due to the reaction of the water, proving addictive, and the tank was repainted. The point of leaking around the overflow pipe was also repaired with the water tightness achieved. 6, the vandalized manhole cover that had been recovered had been reinstated, and at the end of the 21 days, the Department of Water, Irrigation and Sanitation conducted an inspection to assess the repairs. Being satisfied with the quality of work, the department handed over the tank to the MOASCO for management. Number 8, during its visit, the committee confirmed that the contractor had completed the recommended repairs and that the tank was in good condition, stable, dry, and free from leakages. At that time, the tank was 3/4 full and no signs of leakages were seen. The committee also noted that the tank is currently supplied by 2 inlets, Umanyi Spring and Adi Tunguni. The tank serves at least 10 water kiosks and a water point.
Report of the Committee of Water, Irrigation and Sanitation on the site visit to inspect the repairs done on the masonry tank at Kathiak Market in Kikumbuli North Ward, conducted on 10th of November 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly on 1st of December 2025. The floor is open. Member for Kikumbuli.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to support and make a comment. Mr. Speaker, it has taken quite long to be where we are today. There was a lot of repairs done. A lot of what the Swahili would call ukarabati was done. Eventually, we are where we are today. And Mr. Speaker, I want to reiterate the earlier report which had said that in case things go wrong, because I wanted the department to take liability, because so that the department will be taking care of whom they are giving contracts. Mr. Speaker, we cannot let the department be giving contract to cowboys who only are interested in getting our money and are not interested in giving quality works. So, Mr. Speaker, the buck stops at the department. Anytime things will go wrong, the department will have to bear the brunt. Because as the people's watchmen, Mr. Speaker, we keep watch and to see that things are right. And that's why it has taken that long to be where we are. I thank the Committee of Water, which worked hard and brought several recommendations. They had an earlier report where they said in case things ever go wrong, would hang on the department to construct another tank. Mr. Speaker, I just want to say, in future, the departments all over must be careful to make sure that anytime we put money, that should be given to competent contractors who have a record. Contractors who have been showing poor record workmanship should not be given contracts, because that will be the best way we can weed cowboy contractors and those who are interested in our money. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Emali.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I am in support of the committee's recommendation, despite the report taking too long since the statement was requested, Honorable Speaker. I have some comments. One, why is it that we are doing repairs on a new tank, a new project? Who should be blamed on that matter? Because when project is new, a tank was constructed, has not been utilized, and yet we are talking about repairs, Honorable Speaker, honestly. Two, where is the guarantee that the tank will will serve the people for quite some period? If we are doing repairs when the tank is being commissioned, Honorable Speaker, honestly, then where is the guarantee of the sustainability of that tank? Three, who should take responsibility in the event the tank doesn't last for a year or so? Because here is a department, there are engineers, there is a location for those engineers who works on daily basis, and yet we have substandard works being done, Honorable Speaker. Where is value for money? Because we must be considerate about, it is not a matter of the Honorable House coming, budgeting, allocating resources for a project, yet the money doesn't serve the purpose. Because someone must take responsibility. Assuming that after the lapse of the 6 months period, that repair will hold on, and the retention fees are paid to the contractor, and it comes and it breaks down shortly after then where is the value of all those millions utilized, Honorable Speaker? The committee must get in deep and make sure that we have a recommendation on the guarantee on period of serving the people on these water projects. Water projects are not just the other projects, Honorable Speaker. So I am worried also, and I would wish the committee can dig deeper and have an imagination where a contractor has gone, he has been paid, and there is no value for money. We must be considerate, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Member for Kia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also stand to support the committee's recommendation and also echo my colleagues' comments regarding some of the projects which have been commissioned are very disappointing, because when a contractor finishes the works, we have engineers in our departments who go to inspect the works before the contractor is paid. It is very disappointing that our engineers are approving projects that are substandard, because a reservoir tank like the one which was repaired, it is very dangerous. It is very dangerous to repair such a tank. I can assure you there is no guarantee that tank will last for long, because very soon it is a masonry tank. You repair cracks. I can tell you those cracks will soon develop because we have pressures in that tank. It is not that project alone. Even in my area, we have a project which was commissioned barely 6 months, and it has not benefited the community. We need to get to the bottom of the problem we are having with our engineers. And it is good that as an assembly, we need to come up with either recommendations as to ensure any engineer who approves a project that is substandard, they must take responsibility. They must take responsibility because it is something which has been continuing. Recently, we were in Bunge inspecting some substandard culverts. This is water, and we have several others. I know these members are just quiet, but there are so many projects in their wards which are not working. So, Mr. Speaker, it is my wish that we need to tighten our belts. We need to ensure all the loose ends regarding approval of substandard works must end in this county. Otherwise, we will not have helped our people. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I support the report, and I would like to say some few words because I saw this one coming because of the projects which have been done. Remember, we did an oversight about stalled projects. Maybe a project was done, poorly done, or substandard, and it is not benefiting the people of Makueni. That was an oversight which we are doing, at least to come up with the recommendations, and they are coming out clearly. You have heard Okia, they are saying there is problem. In my ward, I have 3 mega projects of water which are not working to date. I have a bowl which with a cubic meter of water, 34 cubic meters of water. That is like 34,000 liters per hour. And it is not working. And it was done just about 6 months ago. I have another one, I've been mentioning it here, Chaluma Boao, with 17 cubic meters of water. That is like 17,000 liters per hour. It is not working. There is another one which has some bursts. Every now and then we have been repairing, but now it has stabilized. I don't know whether it will go for 1 year or 2 years or for 6 months like the others. So, Honorable Speaker, I think before we come up with the budget for 2026-2027, we must know those projects which are stalled due to substandard, those projects which have been faced and they have not been completed, those ones which have been completed and they are not operational. Honorable Speaker, we cannot start new projects while we have projects which should benefit a lot of people. Like I have the one with 34 cubic meters can benefit even 2 locations. About 1,000 homesteads should have water because it's good water with high yield, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, what I'm appealing to the members, please let us come together and defend that oversight, because that one would tell us whether we are coming back or we are not coming back. Because we can have so many projects, but they are not benefiting the people of Makueni. Thank you.
Honorable Jonathan, are you in place?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is really surprising to hear of newly completed projects, and during the day of commissioning, it is not working. And I've heard the member for Kikumbulu North saying that those people came and they did something wazuri wanaita ukarambati. Mr. Speaker, if we follow this route, Mr. Speaker, we do a project before it starts benefiting the community, there are problems, and the contractor has been paid. That will raise questions about...
Member from Mabendini, the standing order provides that you begin by stating you support or you
Honorable Speaker, I
support the
support the report.
Thank you.
Yeah, I am supporting the report. It is a very good report. But those issues, Mr. Speaker, are there. Where was the PMC? Where was the ward administrator, the sub-ward administrator, and our engineers who are supposed to assist in oversighting when the contractor is doing the work? Because we have big queues. That means that people have just relaxed and they are eating money, government money, adding no value to the intent of this, the budget that we approve in this assembly. So, Speaker, there's another project in Mavindini. There's Honorable Engineer Said and Honorable Member for Kakowai. There are so many issues. A project which has consumed over 75 million. And the Speaker, you cannot say this is what has come out of the invested money. So, Mr. Speaker, at the high time, as a member for Kakowai is saying, we stand clear and we oversight on the budget implementation, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Move of the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Let me take issue with what has been raised by the members. First, I want to thank them because they have raised very valid issues. And as the chair of water, Mr. Speaker, and through the interaction of this particular project, the Speaker, it is true to accept that there is a problem in our account. And the problem runs from the PMC level, the engineers level, and also the execution or the kind of people we are giving contracts. The Speaker, I would wish to echo the sentiments of the Honorable Member for Kikumbulu South, the Honorable Member for Mali Mulala Ward, and Honorable Member for Ukia, Kikumbulu North. Mr. Speaker, sir, if you go by this particular project, as a committee, we were forced to give major overhaul repairs to the satisfaction of the consumers. And that's why we actually tied recommendation number 2 that the liability strictly lies with the department. And we are not going to let the department go scot-free in the instances where they have substandard work done. At some point, the engineer could not even answer our questions because we were like, what was he actually inspecting? What was he supervising? The Speaker, this is not the only one. And I would wish to ask members that don't sit and keep quiet on a problem. Any project within your ward that has an issue, bring it forth, and this committee is prepared and ready to act to the latter. Because we have no time to waste. Value for money is very important, and we will not keep quiet until every stone is turned and the satisfaction is actually achieved in terms of service delivery to the common wananchi. In this context, I would wish to urge the members to support this particular report because at least for the people of Kikumbulu North to get services. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now put the question that this assembly adopts the report of the Committee of Water, Irrigation and Sanitation on the site visit to inspect the repairs done on masonry tank at Kathiaka Market in Kikumbulu North, conducted on 10th of November 2025, laid on the table of the assembly on 1st of December 2025. Will as many of this opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of our contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. This report be forwarded to the CC, Water, Irrigation and Sanitation for action. Next order.
Order number 9, motion. The report of the Committee on Water, Irrigation and Sanitation regarding the distribution of the Mzima Springs water.
Chairperson, Committee of Water, Irrigation and Sanitation.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion that this assembly adopts the report of the Committee on Water, Irrigation and Sanitation regarding the distribution of Mzima Springs water laid on the table of the assembly on 26th August 2025. Likewise, Mr. Speaker, I would wish to request that you allow me to go directly to the observations and findings in order to redeem time. However, I don't know whether you'll allow me to go through the overview of the details because this seems to be actually a new project to most of the members.
See how to summarize, but fine.
Okay. I will definitely be very brief. Mr. Speaker, sir, the County Assembly, Mr. Speaker, this particular project is a project which is found in Zaban Ward, Ivingoni Zaban Ward. It is actually a statement that raised an issue of Mzima Springs, which has a lot of water and which actually can supply that area comfortably, and the people live without strain for water. So on Tuesday, 4th March, Mr. Speaker, 2025, the member of Ivingoni Zaban Ward, Honorable Harrison Mutia, he requested for this statement. And thereafter, we went ahead to handle this particular statement. The honorable member alleged that Mzima Springs are series for natural springs in Tsavo National Park, Kenya. They are located in the West Park, around 48 kilometers from Mutitwandei. Currently, the springs serve Foi town and the south coast of Mombasa, which is 271 kilometers away. A new pipeline is also being constructed to serve Taita Taveta count, 107 kilometers from Foi town and 207 kilometers from the water source. Therefore, the member requested for clarification of the following issues. Why Makueni County and especially Kibwezi East and West constituencies are not being factored in the water pipeline construction, aware that the said area has water scarcity as a life challenge. And two, whether the department is aware that the people residing along Chult Hills, which serve as the water source alongside Kilimanjaro Mountain, are support the government in conserving the two sources truly as patriotic custodians. Chult Hills runs through Makindu, Gumo, and Thange wards and terminates at these areas suffer acute scarcity of water. And then the last issue was what actions has the department taken to remedy this. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee sought the above information from the ECM, and upon receipt of the response, the committee scrutinized it, issued a response to the Assembly, but it was unsatisfactorily responded to. The committee was directed to convert the statement into a report with the recommendations to the department for necessary action. In this context, Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee embarked on the matter and they prepared the report brings and a review has been existing even before devolution, and no feasibility study was done by the government of Makueni County for a viable water project from the said source. Two, the committee also found that following a court ruling to compensate the victims of Thange oil spillage in both Thange and Masongaleni wards at a cost of 3.8 billion, this confirmed that indeed there was need for an alternative source of water within the region. As a committee, we went ahead and gave our recommendations in relation to this matter. And one, the county government, through the Department of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation, should consider and allocate funds in the year 2025-2026 Supplementary Budget 1 for conducting a comprehensive feasibility study that covers both Kibwezi East and West to establish the viability of abstracting water from Mzima Springs, as this will help the department come up with the detailed designs, drawings, and estimated costs for the project. Two, the executive committee member in charge of water, irrigation, and sanitation should seek an abstraction permit from the Water Resource Authority, WRA, before commencement of the 2026-2027 budget of financial year, then allocate sufficient funds in the year 2026-2027 for implementation of the project. Then number three, we recommended that the executive committee member in charge of water
Honorable members, I propose the question that this assembly adopts the report of the Committee of Water, Irrigation and Sanitation regarding the distribution of the Mzima Springs water laid on the table of the assembly on 26th of August 2025. The floor is open. Mover of the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I am happy that the members have supported this report, and I hope the government will take the initiatives initiated within that particular report. Mr. Speaker, sir, I've also noticed as I was going through the report that availability of funds, I think, should be considered as we proceed ahead, because some of the recommendations, like they have been taken by events.
Attention, honorable members. The report and what I was consulting, I have noted part of the recommendation of the report is funds to be allocated in supplementary 1, which is already overtaken by events. Therefore, I wish to direct that as the report will be forwarded, if passed, that should be amended to read supplementary budget 2 or something. Therefore, honorable members, I put the question that this assembly adopts the report of the Committee of Water, Irrigation and Sanitation regarding the distribution of the Mzima Springs laid on the table of the assembly on 26th August 2025. Will as many of these opinions say aye? Aye. Will as many of our contrary opinions say nay? The ayes have it. This report should be forwarded to the County Executive Committee for Water, Irrigation and Sanitation for action, but not in the necessary recommendation of supplementary budget 2. Next order.
Order number 10, motion. The report of the Committee on Devolution, Public Participation, County Administration and Special Programs on the annual report of the Makueni County Public Service Board on the execution of the functions of the board.
Chairperson, Committee on Devolution, Public Service, Public Participation, County Administration and Special Programs. To move a report on the Makueni County Public Service Board on the execution of functions of the board from January to December 2024. Chairperson. Chair, are you sorted? You are sorted? Okay, as you sort with the table office, we may move to the next order, then we revert back. Next order.
Order number 11, motion. The report of the Committee on Gender, Children, Youth, Sports and Social Services on the Makueni County Empowerment Funding Guidelines 2024.
Chairperson, Committee on Gender, Children, Youth and Sports and Social Services.
Withdrew the motion. Give me a minute. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm advised to do an official withdrawal because, Honorable Speaker, we retreated with the department and the guidelines have since been reviewed. So, Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 64 One, I beg to withdraw the notice of motion, which was given on 29th September 2025, that this assembly adopts the report, I beg to withdraw the notice of the following motion. The report of the Committee on Gender, Children, Youth, Sports, and Social Services on Makueni County Empowerment Fund Guidelines 2024, laid on the table of the Assembly on 29th September 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order. Member for Kikumbulu and Minority Leader. Chair, I take notice of the withdrawal of motion. Chair, Gender, I take notice of the withdrawal of motion. However, you didn't state any reasons. Neither did you give a timeline when you should be able to table this report, so that we may be able to move forward.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I stated that the guidelines have since been reviewed. We retreated with the department 2 weeks ago. And Honorable Speaker, I pray that you give us 14 days so that we can retable the report. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Fine. By this withdrawal, the report in the Committee on Gender, Children, Youth and Social Services on the Makueni County Empowerment Fund Guidelines 2024 that was laid on the table of the Assembly on 29th of September 2025, this report stands withdrawn. Next order.
Order number 12, motion. The half-year development report of the Committee on Lands, Urban Planning and Development for the period January to June 2025.
Chairperson, Committee of Lands, Urban Planning and Development.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, the report will be available from 2:30. It's not ready.
It's not ready?
Yeah.
The report was tabled.
Who? Kalande na nioni bani nyandi kwa kalande.
Chair, proceed. The report was tabled.
Give me 3 minutes.
Chairs, as we move on and in the interest of time, we agreed yesterday that please liaise with your committee clerks. The order paper for the afternoon session has been shared. It is easy to know what business is scheduled for. Or else liaise with your clerks. Clerk, take note. Let the clerks take the work seriously together with chairs so that we may prepare ourselves. We don't move up and down, but that we will revert back. So therefore, Chair Lance, sort that with the table office as we move. Next order.
Order number 13, motion. The report of the Committee on Finance and Social Planning on the Makueni County entities, that is County Executive, County Assembly, and Fruit Development and Marketing Authority, quarterly reports and financial statements for the period ended 30th of June 2025.
Chairperson, Committee on Finance and Socio-Economic Planning. Chairperson, Committee of Finance and Social. Vice Chairperson. Vice Chairperson. Any member of the Finance Committee and Socio-Economic Planning? Any member of the Finance Committee? This member for Kimakiu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to move the following motion, that this Assembly adopts the report of the Committee on Finance and Socio-Economic Planning on the Makueni County entities, that is County Executive, County Assembly, Fruit Development and Marketing Authority, quarterly reports and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly 30th September 2025. Background, Section 166, Section 4 of the Public Finance Management Act stipulates that not later than 1 month after the end of each quarter, the county treasurer shall consolidate the quarterly reports of all county government entities and submit them to the county assembly. Section 163, Section 2 of the Public Finance Management Act specifies that financial statements submitted in accordance with Section 166, Section 4 above shall include 1, a statement of all money paid in 2 and paid out of the county exchequer account. 2, a summary of 1, the appropriation account and statements prepared by accounting officers under Section 164. 2, and the statements prepared by receivers of revenue under Section 165. 3, a statement of payment, if any, made out of the county exchequer account and that are authorized by legislation other than Appropriation Act. 4, a statement of the total amount of debt of the county government that is outstanding at the end of the financial year. A statement of the debt guaranteed by the national government at the end of the financial year. 6, other statements as the county assembly may require. And 7, a statement of the summary of the accounts from the county assembly. Makueni County executive reports and financial statements for the period ended 30th June. Financial reports and statements highlight the financial and non-financial performance of the various county government entities in the particular fiscal period. The Makueni County Government Financial Year 2024-2025 fourth quarter reports and financial statement highlight the financial and non-financial performance of the county executive during the period from 1st July 2024 to 30th June 2025. The financial year 24-25 budget is the second one to implement the CIDP 2023 to 2027 and is geared towards realization of the county government transformational development agenda. The county government revised budget for the financial year 24-25 amounts to 11,580,212,370 shillings. The budget implements development programs and strategies identified in the financial year 2024-2025 annual development plan and the 2024 county fiscal strategy paper. The financial year 24-25 approved budget is funded through 4 main sources, namely equitable share from the national government, own source revenue, conditional allocations, loans and grants, and financial year 2023-2024 reallocation funds. Some of the highlights of the report include the total receipt, payment during aforementioned period, the surpluses, deficits for the periods, cash flow of the entities during reporting periods, financial assets and liabilities for the entities' revenue performance during periods, and banking details for the entities during the reporting period. The report also states the findings made from the financial statements into comparison to the reporting period, as well as the recommendation to better the financial and non-financial management by respective county government entities. Receipts. The county government of Makueni received a total of 10,847,960 shillings during the financial year under review. Of the total receipt, 8,497,308,448 shillings were the exchequer releases. 171 million were conditional allocations. Loans and grants were 1,231,333,990 shillings were county-owned source revenue, while 948,201,000 were financial year 23-24 reallocation funds. Payments. During the financial year under review, the county executive made payments totaling to 7,500,174,949 shillings. The payments were on compensation of employees at 4,303,982,211 shillings, use of goods and services at 1,713,470,078 shillings, development expenditure at 1.4 billion. Statements of assets and liabilities, cash and cash equivalents. At the close of the reporting year, the county executive had 1,755,000,000 as the total assets comprising of 285,371,000 as cash and cash equivalents. 1,198,235,204 shillings as receivables from non-exchequer transactions, 97 million as prepaid expenses, and 175 million as property, plant, and equipment. The county executive had liabilities, trade, and other payables amounting to 2,121 million, hence net assets of 366,168,648 shillings. Statement of appropriation and recurrent and development receipts. The county government received budget. The county government revised budget of the financial year 24-25 as projected total revenue of 10,741,512 shillings. By the end of the year, the county government had realized 7,798,523, and 73 budget realization by the end of the reporting quarter, thereby a budget utilization of 2,948,700,089 shillings. Payments recurrent, compensation of employees. The county government executive revised budget of financial year 24-25 as 4,746,548,777 for the compensation of employees. By the end of the year, the actual payments for the compensation of employees were 4,384,069,332, representing 92 budget utilization, while giving a budget utilization difference of 362,479,445 shillings. Use of goods and services. The county executive revised budget of the financial year 24-25 as 1,721,091,602 for the use of goods and services. By the end of the year, the actual payments for use of goods and services were 1,502,715,753 shillings, representing 87% budget utilization, while giving a budget utilization difference of 218 million. Transfer of to other government entities. The county government executive revised budget for the financial year 24-25 as 423,935,563 shillings for transfer to other government units. By the end of the financial year, the actual payments transferred to the other government entities were 172,379,566, representing 41% budget utilization, while giving a budget utilization difference of 251 million. Other grants. The county executive revised budget for the financial year 24-25 as 193,577,504 shillings for other grants and transfers. By the end of the year, the actual payments for other grants and subsidies were 38,401,962 shillings, representing 20% budget utilization, while giving a budget utilization difference of 155 million. Payments, development. The county executive revised budget for the financial year 24-25 as 3,656 million as the development budget. By the end of the year, the actual payment for the acquisition of assets were 1,402,608,000, representing that budget utilization, while giving a budget utilization difference of 2,254,352,112 shillings. Bank accounts. During the reporting financial year, the county executive were running 23 bank accounts, while the Central Bank of Kenya, CBK, is shown below. The accounts are 23 in number. Most of them are in for Makueni County Referral, account Makueni Recurrent account Makueni Development account. They are 23 in number. Observations. The county government had realized 94% of the total revenues projected for the financial year 24-25 by the end of the year. The overall absorption rate of the budget was 70%, with the absorption rate of the current budget being 86%, while the absorption rate of the development budget being 38%. The county had realized 84%, being 1.2 billion of the fiscal year on resource revenue target at the end of the year. 3, the low absorption of the budget was majorly as a result of low realization of receipts and the late disbursement of the equitable share revenue during the reporting period. The county executive did not have any outstanding interest as at the end of the close of the reporting quarter. Recommendations. The full implementation of the identified strategies to improve the revenue collection efforts should be fast-tracked to help in bridging the revenue shortfalls being suffered every reporting quarter. The committee commends the county executive for the impressive interest management that saw no interest pending to the close of the reporting financial quarter, and recommends that the same practice observed through the fiscal year, the financial years, and the laws governing the issuance and surrender of interests are adhered to implement to the letter in compliance with the regulation 93, section 5 of the Public Finance Management 2015. Makueni County Assembly reports and financial statements for the period ended 30th June 2025. The financial reports and statement highlight the financial and non-financial performance of the County Assembly for the period ended 1st March 2025. Some of the highlights of the report include the total receipts and payment during the aforementioned period, the surpluses and deficits for the period, cash flow for the County Assembly during the reporting period, financial assets and liabilities for the entity, and banking details of the County Assembly during the reporting period. The report also states the findings made from the financial statements in comparison to the reporting period, as well the recommendations to better the financial and non-financial management by the County Assembly receipts. During the reporting year, the County Assembly of Makueni received a total of 805,303,583 shillings from the County Revenue Fund, against the total budgetary allocation of 837,740,866 as per the financial year 24-25 revised budget of the County Government of Makueni. This representing 99% million. This representing 110% absorption of the approved budget. The payments of 9.6 million made during the year was against the total quarter receipt of 805 million, ends a deficit of 91 million for the year. A point to note that social security benefits are mainly government pension and retirement benefits. Statements of assets and liability, cash and cash equivalents. At the close of the year, the County Assembly made 34,588,130 shillings at the total assets, comprising of cash and cash equivalents of 15,702,413 shillings, and the property, plant, and equipment of 18,865,715 shillings. The County Assembly had financial liabilities, trade and other payables amounting to 128,121,264 shillings. Fixed assets. The County Assembly spent 18,865,717 shillings on the capital budget of the acquisition of the PP. Statement of appropriation, recurrent development receipts, exchequer, county treasury transfers. The county government revised budget for the financial year 24-25 allocated the County Assembly 807,740,886 shillings as the transfers from the county treasury. That is exchequer releases. The actual receipt for the from the CRF by the end of the financial year was 805,333,568, ends 99% utilization, thereby a budget utilization difference of 2,407,298 shillings. Payment as 406,381,000, such as lack of transport. 2, financial challenges. The authority has been relying heavily on budgetary allocation from the county. Budget slashes many a time expose the authority to financial constraints. 3, legal challenges. Gaps in the Makueni Sand Conservation and the Utilization Act 2015 have hampered in its implementation and exposed the authority to its possible legal issues. 4, political challenges. Sand issues are highly emotive and easily politicized due to the powerful cartels that used to control and the resource before enactment of the law. Often issues are politicized, and this unfairly affects the authority's progress. Receipts. The revenues of the authority for the year amounted to 104,236,170 shillings, comprising the revenue generated from local sand cesses, fines, and the licenses of 43,071,108 shillings, transfers from the county government, 61,165,007 shillings. Expenses. The total expenses for the authority for the year amounted to 61,804,511 shillings, comprising of the use of goods and services of 29 million, employees' costs of 24 million, board expenses of 3 million, depreciation of property, plant, and equipment of 2 million, and the repairs and maintenance of 926,413 shillings. The funds therefore had an operating surplus of 42 million, 431,166.7 shillings for the year. Assets. At the reporting period, the authority had 25 million as the total assets. This included non-current assets, that's property, plant, and equipment of 7 million, receivable from non-exchequer transactions of 14 million, and the cash and cash equivalents of 4 million. Liabilities. The authority had liabilities amounting to 5 million, which were trade and other payables. Statement of comparison of budget and actual amounts. Revenue. The government transfers. The authority received revised budget of the financial year 24-25 or had 63,553,000 as the county government transfers. The actual receipt of the county government transfers by the end of the financial year was 61,165,007 shillings, as 96% utilization with the performance difference of 2 million. operating revenue. The authority revised budget for the financial year 24-25 at 47 million as the operating revenue. The actual realized operating revenue by the end of the year was 43 million, hence 92% utilization with a performance of 3 million. Expenses, staff costs. The authority revised budget financial year 24-25 at 25,342,000 for the staff costs for the third quarter. The actual expenditure of the staff costs by the end of the year was 24,878,000, hence 98% utilization and a utilization difference of 463,000. Board expenses. The authorities revised budget financial year 24-25 at 3 million for board expenses for the fiscal year. The actual expenditure for the board. Okay. The actual expenditure of the board expenses by the end of the year was 3 million, hence 100% utilization. General and operation costs. The authority revised budgets for Fruit Development and Marketing Authority with a purpose to administer the management of fruit processing and its infrastructure in the county in accordance with the provisions of the Act. Promote best practice in and regulate the production, processing, marketing, grading, storage, collection, transportation, and warehousing of fruit and fruit products. Collect and collate data, maintain a database on fruit products and documents. Monitor, be responsible for determining the research priorities in fruit and fruit products and advise generally on research thereof. Advise the county government on fruit and fruit product dealing levies for purposes of planning, enhancing harmony and equity in the sector. Section 16 of the Act provides that funds and assets of the authority shall consist of such monies as may be appropriated by the Assembly for the purposes of the authority, such as gifts as may be given to the authority, such as profits as may be obtained from the sale of fruit and fruit products, or monies from any other lawful sources provided and donated or lent to the authority. Receipts. During the financial year under review, the Fruit Development and Marketing Authority received a total of 113,263,624 shillings, comprising of that 2 million from sale of products, that is puree, water, and juice, and 80 million as recurrent grants from the county government. With a total cost sales of 57 million, the net revenue for the authority for the year before amounted to 55 million. Payments. Payment made by authority during the financial year amounted to 40 million, comprising of administration expenses of 38 million, selling and distribution expenses of 2 million, and transfers to the county revenue fund of 27 million. Statement of assets and liability. Assets. As at 30th of June 2025, the authority had 442,384,503 shillings as the total assets, comprising of non-recurrent assets of 357 million and current assets of 85 million. Point to note, non-current assets include property, plant, equipment, while current assets include inventories, trade, and other receivables, bank and cash balances. Inventories comprise of finished goods and consumables, packaging materials. Equity and liabilities, shareholders. Bank accounts and balances. During the reporting period, the authority was running 3 bank accounts with KCB, as shown below. Operations account observations. During the deliberations on the statements, the committee observed the following. 1, the Fruit Development and Marketing Authority received a grant totaling to 80 million from the county government during the reporting year. 2, the authority had transferred a total of 27 million to the county revenue fund with an drop of 8 million compared to the previous financial year of 2023-2024. The sale of products for the year review amounted to that 2 million with a drop of 115,000 compared to the previous financial year. Cash and cash equivalent as at the reporting period amounted to 9,600,401 shillings, which were all bank balances. Recommendations. The committee recommends that 1, the board should ensure continued production and sale of companies' products in each year to guarantee generation of sufficient revenue to reduce dependency of the authority on transfers by the county government and further contribute optimally on revenue transfers to the CRF. 2, the committee recommends the ECM to continue observing the timely preparation, submission, and financial statements for the county to the county assembly for consideration. That comes to the end of the motion. I call upon Honorable Mercy to support.
Honorable members, I propose the question that this assembly adopts the report of the Committee on Finance and Socio-Economic Planning on the Makueni County entities, the County Executive, County Assembly and Fruit Development and Marketing Authority, quarterly reports or financial statements for the period ended on 30th of June, 2025. The floor is open for debate. Move of the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the members. I call upon them to support the motion. The Finance Committee is back on track to ensure that we reduce our reports from the number that was said in the previous sitting, so that at least we can finish the backlog. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, I put the question that this assembly adopts the report of the Committee on Finance and Socio-Economic Planning on the Makueni County entities, the County Executive, County Assembly and Food Development and Marketing Authority, quarterly reports and financial statements for the period ended on 30th of June, 2025. Well, as many of these opinions say aye, well, as many of our different opinions say nay, the ayes have it. I direct that this report be shared to the CC, Finance, and the Clerk of the County Assembly for action. I direct we revert back to the report, motion number 12, the order number 12, the half-yearly progress report from the Committee of Lands.
Chair Lands, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, people should be ready to work. And Mr. Speaker, Standing Orders 2 or 3 says that unless the more regular intervals is prescribed under any written law.
Chair.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
You know we move our reports. You have not moved them.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move the following motion that this Assembly adopts our yearly progress report of Committee on Lands and Urban Planning, the period between January to June 2025, laid on the table of this Assembly on 29th September 2025. Mr. Speaker, Standing Order 2 or 3 states that unless a more regular intervals is prescribed under written law on the law, the County Assembly Standing Orders, each select committee shall submit a yearly progress report on the County Assembly within 2 months after end of 6 months period. The committee held a total of 27 sittings during the period under consideration. where it deliberated on several matters, among them, 1, Committee on behalf, Committee ABL Progress Report for period between July and December 2024. 2, Boni Care Ad hoc Committee report on proposed municipality charter. 3, report on statement regarding the blockage of a public toilet by a private developer at Kilili Market in Zaui, Kilili Kalamba Ward. 4, requests for statement regarding the need to survey Kangon Market in Kikumeni Mubao Ward. And 5, requests for statement regarding the grabbing of public utility land at Kikima Market in Bono Ward. 6, request for statement regarding the implementation of function transferred to the Emali Sultan municipality. And 6, the 2025 Makueni County Fiscal Strategy Paper. 7, public petition by allottees of the Nziwani Market in Makindu Ward seeking for protection against land grabbers. 8, public petition by the residents of Makindu Ward regarding Makindu Roll Park and open air market public lands. 9, financial year 2024-25 supplementary budget 2. 10, financial year 2024-2025 that quarter budget implementation report. 11, financial year 2025-2025 budget estimates. Key achievement of the committee. The committee recorded on the following some of the key achievements during the period under review. 1, consideration of 2025 county fiscal strategy paper. 2, consideration of the fiscal year 2024-2025 supplementary budget 2 for the land use, urban planning and development directorate, Water municipality and Emali Sultan Amur municipality, which has enabled the county government to implement the directorate and the municipalities program and projects. 3, consideration of 2025 county fiscal strategy paper. And 4, consideration of financial year 2025-2026 financial budget estimates for the lands, urban planning development directorate, Water municipality and Sultan Amut municipality. Anticipated activities and work plan for the committee. The committee anticipates plans to consider the following, among others: business during the period July to December 2025. 2, the financial year 2025 supplementary budget 1, and the lands, urban planning development directorate, Water municipality, Emali and municipality. 2, consideration of the financial year 2025-2027 count annual development plan. 3, follow up the implementation of projects and programs under the lands and urban planning development directorate, Water municipality and the Mali Sultana Amutu municipality. And 4, any other documents, legislations, reports, all statements which will be referred to the committee. Observation and the findings. Mr. Speaker, the following were some of the observations made by the committee during the period under review. 1, that Kenya shillings 1 million allocated to the committee in the financial year 2025 was adequate, as it was not adequate, as it only facilitated one activity. And 2, that there was need for the training of the committee members on committee mandates during the training on lands and urban planning matters to enable them effectively execute their mandates. 3, that there was delays in implementation of the Assembly's resolution, with others going and implemented. 4, that the committee has been receiving lengthy updates on the departments on municipalities, programs, and project implementation. 5, that there has been delayed and comprehensive responses from the executive committee member of Lands and Urban Planning, Development, Environment and Climate Change on a request made by the committee. Recommendations. 1, the County Assembly at least allocates 2.5 million to the committee in the financial year 2025-2026 supplementary budget 1 to facilitate its activities. 2, the County Assembly organizes a training for the committee members on the committee mandates within the next 6 months. 3, the department executive committee member ensures that all the assembly resolutions are fully implemented within the recommended time. 4, the executive committee member for Lands and Urban Planning, Development, Environment and Climate Change ensures that the committee is provided with full regular reports on matters related to the department and the municipalities F-Gate and Article 183(3) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. 5, the executive committee member for Lands and Urban Planning, Development, Environment and Climate Change ensures that the committee receives timely and comprehensive responses on requests and acknowledgement. May I take this opportunity to thank all members of the committee for their input and valuable contribution during the period January to June 2025. On behalf of the committee, I wish to thank the office of the Speaker and that of the Clerk of the County Assembly for the logistical support accorded during the period under review. On behalf of the members of the committee, it is my pleasure and duty to present the committee half-yearly progress report for the period July to June 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I therefore call Honorable Jonathan Mwoki to second this motion.
Honorable members, I put the question. I propose the question. This Assembly adopts the half-yearly progress report for the Committee on Lands, Urban Planning and Development for the period January to June 2025. The floor is open. Mover of the motion.
Thank you, honorable members. We really will appreciate your support for this motion. Thank you so much.
Honorable members, I put the question that this Assembly adopts the half-yearly progress report of the Committee on Lands, Urban Planning and Development for the period of January to June 2025. Will as many of these opinions say aye? Will as many of our deep contrary opinions say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, the time now being 12:00 hours, this Assembly stands adjourned until today. This Assembly stands adjourned until today, Tuesday, 2nd December 2025 at 2:30 p.m.